tonight is Thursday 9th of October, report at 6:20, so it's after market close, and as usual we're looking at UK wheat November 2014. We start with the monthly chart, and it's nice to see some green on the chart at last after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months going down. We've had this bounce up here. You can see this green candle here that we've got going at the moment. This is October, start of October. Closed tonight at 12.50 after finding support down here, the low of 660. Volume on this monthly chart is starting to pick up a little bit. So that's an interesting one to keep an eye on. As usual, we'll go down to where this circle is and look at the weekly chart. You can see here, this is the problem we've got on this weekly chart. We've got this big Mazuba candle here, red candle here, that would happened in the beginning of September, high of 120, low of 112.50. Though we've had this green candle start of the October, we've now got this red candle here, and obviously we're finding it hard wind to break through this at the present moment. But obviously we'll go down lower into this weekly candle here, look at the daily chart. And this daily chart, I've just been drawing this, and I suddenly thought, God, this looks confusing, and I'm sorry if it is a bit, because obviously the trouble is when you've had such a long downtrend and now you've got this first upwards move, you want to see if you can get some kind of pattern going, whether it's just it's a bounce against a negative trend, or it's a start of something, basing pattern, or we're looking for some rise. And here I've drawn here, this is the daily version of this weekly candle here, this red square here. You can see where we've had this bounce up. It started with a gap, which is quite interesting, had 2 upwards days, and then we got this down rejection here when we hit 116, which is halfway of this Mazuba candle here, which is to be expected. So we saw a rise of £10 a tonne from the base. I would expect to see some kind of pullback now, and that's what I'm looking for, is a £5 a tonne pullback, to bring us down to the support level here, say 111. And then it's sort of decision time, which will be Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. And either we find a support here at this 111 level, and that gives us a sort of springboard to go back up to test this top of this big red candle here at 120, or we get a confirmation candle below this 111, and then obviously that's sort of my B pattern here, and we go down to test the 107. If we break the 107, then we could see a £10 a tonne move, which would take down £100. So it's all sort of decision time at the moment. We've had a rise, we've had a pullback. Are we going to make a higher low, and see kind of basing pattern? We've had a crossing of the 10 and 20 moving average, though we have fallen below the 5-day moving average again on this red candle close tonight. So it's not by any means clear, and as you can see my drawings on this chart, but it is giving us something to watch and look, rather than a falling market at the present moment. So obviously I'll put an update this time next week, see if we get our signal confirmation of this closing candle below this 111 mark, and we'll keep an eye on that. Going down to the American market, we've had a similar bounce on the American market, and then obviously had this big red candle now forming at the moment down to 492, and that sort of stopped it dead in the tracks. The trend is still down, moving average still pointing down, as it is on the UK wheat chart. So it is has seen a bounce in a negative trend, and obviously nothing, no sort of confirmation of that at the present moment. Then coming down into Aussie rate, which is getting interesting actually, the first time for some time. This is the 20-year chart of Aussie rate, and you can see here this high of 2009 of 330. We've just come under and tested that to the underside of it this week. This showing a first green candle. The last time it broke through this 330 level was in 2010, and we saw a pretty steep rise all of a sudden back up 371 level, which is back up here 371, 380. The volume is starting to pick up also on the Aussie rate. This was the case in 2010 also. So it's worth keeping an eye on, and it could be the start of something, or it could all fizzle out. As usual, we'll just go down to look into the daily chart in this circle here. And you can see here that it's 330 level. We've tested it in August, tested it again September. We didn't hold it, broke below it, and we've now tested it in October, and we did pop our head above it. though we have quickly broken below. So I would expect to see some retracement down here to 320. We've had a higher low here in end of September at 310. So it is possible that it's getting interesting that if we do see this hold, this 320 now on a sort of pullback, and then it puts it in a further high low with 3 high lows, we could see quite a quick bounce break through this 330 up to 371 level. So it's worth keeping a close eye over the next sort of 3 or 4 weeks on this Aussie rate to see if that's so. But obviously, the crucial one is on that wheat. Obviously, we just keep an eye on that on the daily chart and see whether we got any confirmation. We've had a signal, a sign that the moving average cross is that something we could build on, and obviously we'll let the market show its direction. And I'll put an update this time next week. Thanks for watching.